I can have everyone's attention, we'll go ahead and get started with our pole winner, Dale Earnhardt Jr., driver of the number 88 National Guard Chevrolet. First of all, congratulations on your pole win here today. This is your 13th pole overall in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, second pole of 2013. Talk a little bit about your run out there today.
Yeah, the car had really good speed and a really good balance right off the trailer, and felt like we were really competitive, and more so than we'd been here in the past, especially in practice. So when we put the car in the qualifying trim, made a couple mock runs, the car showed really good speed. Wasn't quite the fastest car, but the way the car drove was really relatively easy, and to make the runs we were making was a very challenging, and the grip in the car was just really over the top. So I was expecting to put a good lap down. I thought we'd be competitive enough to get inside the top 10 pretty easily, and so we just made a couple changes that we typically make in between practice and qualifying, and went off to run the lap and made a couple just small errors driving the car. But that's just, you never drive, every lap perfectly. You always kind of wish you could have done things a little differently. But I think the car had maybe another half a tenth or a tenth in it. It's really just a really good car, and I think I did a good job driving it, but most of the credit goes to Steve and Kevin and all the guys just for preparing the car throughout the week. It unloaded so close, and that makes everything so easy when the car's close, especially for practice before qualifying. You're going out there and you're making these laps right on the edge, and when you're not really moving the balance a whole lot or making a ton of changes, the driver can narrow down what he needs to do and minimize the errors that he's going to make. And I thought that they did a good job giving me a great chance to just go out there and trust the car is going to be right there and run a good lap.
All right, we'll open it up for questions. We'll start in the back with Jim, then come up front to Reed and Lee.
Jim Utter, Charlotte Observer. Obviously, to start to come from the back to make up ground in the last 8 races, you've put yourself in an excellent position. Is it at all a little disheartening to know that the guy you're chasing will be starting alongside you on the front row?
Yeah, not really. I expect our competition to be tough every week. So nothing really surprises me out of when they perform well. So we're just we're not really going to count points. And I'm not going to sit here and figure out how far I'm behind and come up with some equation that I need to perfect to gain points each week. And I'm not going to sit here and do that. We're just going to show up and try to run hard, be smart. If we can unload great cars like this, it makes that all easier. And we're going to try to win some races before the year's out. I'd be really disappointed if we don't win a race this season, because I think we're a bit better team than we were last year, and I felt like that we've came so close so many times, and so we just like to get out there and get some trophies, and that the points will take care of itself when you're doing that.
Okay, we'll take our next question up here with Reed. Go ahead.
Reed Spencer with NASCAR Wire Service. Dale, when you got out of the car, it sounded like you felt you'd left a little bit out there. Were you surprised the lap held up?
Yeah, I was. I watched the tracker on a couple guys, the 99. I mean, they were a tenth and a half better than us by the time they got into turn 3 or the middle of 3 and 4. So, yeah, I think there was a good amount of time left out there for a lot of guys, myself included.
Take our next question from Lee. Go ahead.
Lee Spencer, Fox Sports. Can you talk about how important tires were? Because I know you and Stevie were changing tires a lot in at the end of practice.
Well, we practiced and used our tires how we typically do every week. We ran the beginning of practice on a set of tires. We ran a couple race runs to get ourselves a good idea where we were for tomorrow, and just to try to anticipate improving the cars. So that saves us a little bit of time tomorrow if we waited till tomorrow to find out what we could learn today. It's just saving us a little time doing that. And then we have two sets of tires left to go out there and make one mock run, make another mock run. We thought scuffs weren't too bad, actually. and we've rolled the lefts in here before, so we rolled our lefts. We put the qualifiers on and rolled the lefts in a little bit, left the rights off the car, and then we made our last run on the last set of tires. So, I mean, it was just what we normally do every week, aside from the scuff for the lefts, which you do on occasion depending on the track.
Okay, we'll take our next question from Dan over to the right.
Dan Gelson, the Associated Press. Dale, any special significance to setting a track record and knocking someone like Jeremy Mayfield out of the record book?
Well, this car's been faster everywhere we've been this year, so it's anticipate seeing the lap records kind of fall throughout the season. I don't know how many that we broke this year, but it has to be a significant amount compared to in past years. So this car's got a lot more downforce and has been a good bit quicker everywhere we've been with it this year. But it's a good feeling. I've won 2 poles this year, so if we don't get one at Daytona or Talladega, we usually don't get one at all. So this feels pretty good.
Additional questions? Okay, we'll take another follow-up from Reed up front.
Reed Spencer, NASCAR Wire Service. You just mentioned 2 poles this year. That's the first time you've had more than one in a season, I think, since 2002. Is that a reflection of where the program is? Is that a reflection of comfort in this new car? How do you explain that?
I would say it's a reflection of where the program is, just how me and Steve, since we first started working together, we've gotten better each year. And one of the things we started focusing on last year was qualifying, and I think that's rolled over into this season. We continue to put importance on that and try to improve on that. The racing and the cars and the speed the cars have in the races has also improved, but we really focused on qualifying last year and more, even more so this year. But me and him are working better together as the longer we work together, the better we get at it, and the more we understand each other, the more he understands what I need in the car. And we've also kept the majority of the team intact from the beginning. Our engineers, that's so important to keep that together if you can, because everybody sort of learns, what they can about each other. And we just, Steve's really good he's made me a better race car driver. He makes his engineers better. I mean, he's really good at his job, and so he deserves a lot of credit for us improving and being able to get these poles and just qualifying better.
Dale, thank you. Follow up, Lee, and then we'll let him go.
Stevie said he's never seen an unhappy race car driver in a fast car. Is that accurate?
That's true, yeah. When the car's fast, usually the driver's not talking or complaining. So, I know that even the guy leading the race has got something he'd like to fix on his car or something about the car that it could do better. But, when you run well, you definitely are a happier guy. I mean, just look at how we were after last week's qualifying effort compared to this week. So I thought we had a good car last week, and we just didn't get the job done in qualifying, and I was so disappointed. But when you got the car and you want it to, when you got the car and you know the potential, and you go out there and realize it like we did today, it's it makes it a lot easier.
And have you talked to Matt at all? Is he kind of having one of those pinch me type of seasons, or is he having one of those that he kind of expected everything to fall into place season?
Matt never would expect things like that. Matt never would expect things to go this well. I'm always having to pump him up, tell him how good things are going to be. So he's always a worrywart, I guess is the best way to describe him. But I'm sure he's enjoying the success and knows how talented his team is around him. But every time I see him, even when his car's fast in practice, he might say his car's not that good, and he's one of those guys. But he's having a great year, but hopefully we can beat him. We want to get up there and regain our ground and get back into this thing if we can.